Hi, Justin.
Hi,
Hi,
Justin.
Justin.
And
Swear to God,
Pat
Justin,
and
I
Lizzie.
will make you eat salt.
And Lizzie. And Pat.
Then you better come.
So, who would like to give a quick recap of last session?
No.
Connor.
Yes, see, Fox, once again leading the bumbling group of bumblers into the deadly
You
fortress
bumbler.
of the
You bumbler.
confronted.
You bumbler.
Sorry, this is my recap.
Sorry, go ahead.
Confronted the evil Lich. Hold up, I have his name written down. Sculper, who had dastardly arranged for there to be a phone collective that we just so happened to borrow way back when. And he was quite angry at this turn of events, and thus he declared that we were to die, except not really. Instead, it was just Fox and Tavro, except not really. Instead, Fox was to be stuck around in order to enact the plans of the Gilded Eye, and Topper's just gonna have to die because he's a wormy boy, except not really, because then Flora decided to be like, hey guys, let's hold hands and sing Kumbaya, and somehow that worked, and we teleported out of the Lich's lair and
That was
found
Clara
Mr.
too, I'll have
Topro.
you know.
I said Flora, not Flora.
Yes, my mistake.
And then Mr. Topper greeted us and said, surely these items I've arranged will not backfire whatsoever, and they are quite a good deal, and you should take them. Indeed, I am the merchant man. Buy my wares. There is surely nothing insidious or evil about this. And that was about it.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. So, just a quick addition onto that because Kai did go on for a little bit longer with Escher as everybody logged off last week. And so we had Tavro and Fox so far agree to the items, and I believe both of you are attuning to your book and your new helmet. While that is happening, Kai discussed further with Mr. Taz and decided to give up his sense of smell for the vial that was promised to him. And Escher has looked into some of the experiments but rejected the offer of mushroom samples.
I did not expressly do that. I only looked at, I mostly just was studying everything he was doing, trying to decipher exactly what the fuck is going on back there, and I don't do that kind of magic, so I still don't know what the fuck this thing do. Entirely. He gave me a rundown of it, but I don't fully understand it. I don't know how much I trust what he said.
Yeah, you don't know how much you trust him, and it's also, from what he described, magic that you have zero experience with.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
So, as that kind of conversation wraps up with Kai, Escher, and Mr. Taz, and Kai starts speaking seemingly to himself, just kind of like mumbling to himself and looking over his shoulder a lot. Mr. Taz calls out to you, Gideon, and goes, "So, Gideon, you're the last one. Or at least, maybe Escher is still interested, but for you, are you interested in the item I've procured?"
What? Would you mind refreshing me as to what this item you've procured for me is?
But of course, you see, it is a way for you to bolster your newfound magics with your existing talents as an investigator, I believe is what you call yourself. But we all know, it's a murderer. It's good for killing.
So this item will help me kill more things, you say?
More weave your magic into the way that you've been killing things.
I see. Yes, I suppose I will take this item.
And what have you to offer me for it?
I have a glass eye you may be interested in, as well as a potion that can be used to resist poison that may be of interest to you as well.
I'm an alchemist. A simple antidote is not worth much to me. Tell me about this glass eye.
Well, it's a glass eye. You can use it to fool and deceive any of those who may be attempting to look you straight in the eye to avoid having to tell the truth.
This is the one from Krenko's place?
Yes, this is the one that we found in Krenko's hideout.
And as you're describing this, he goes, "Ah, yes, I believe this was in possession of one of my other clients."
Yes, I suppose it was. Maybe.
I'm not much in favor of buying back my own goods. But
I see.
for building up a business relationship, I'm sure we could strike a deal. But do you have anything else that might pique my interest?
I have some weapons here. I have a short sword, that may be of interest to you, but other than that, I'm, mostly equipped with weapons and things. I don't really have a ton of other, loot on me, unfortunately.
Mostly what I look for is magic. Is this short sword magical, enchanted in any way?
It is not. As I told you, I'm not very equipped in the magic realm yet. So, at this point, I'm just trying to acquire things to help me get there.
In that case, I think I have an offer for you. The glass eye, and one of yours.
Oh? But what would you do with one of my real eyes?
Well, I have experiments to do. It seems you have a fairly keen eye yourself as an investigator. I'm always interested in bolstering my own skills. Sometimes that's easiest done by taking the skills of another. I've already taken your friend's sense of smell. Now, the scent of a dragon, it truly is remarkable. Now, what would the eye of a Vidalcan do?
Oh. I see. I don't really know if I want to give up one of my eyes. Let me see if I have anything else that may be of interest to you. Do you have any interest for this odd-looking thing? And Gideon pulls out the worm tooth that he saved from whenever we killed the worm, which was ages ago.
Tava wants to eat it.
Oh, yeah,
It'll
that
make me
was
strong.
right before you joined, right, Tavro?
I think. That's I wasn't there.
And he kind of looks at it and goes, "Ah, yes, I believe your monk friend has already offered me one of these. Sadly, it has no magics left from the original worm, as it was already sucked out by the suffragan and distilled
what?
into that little heart of Tavrose.
Oh.
Now, if he's willing to part with that, oh,
No,
that's
I
something
just like
I'm
look
very
up from a
interested
tuning
in.
and go, no.
Gideon,
Oh,
how
yes, I
much
didn't
money
think
do you
so.
have?
I have 42 gold, 72 platinum.
Wait. No, you don't.
I don't.
There's no
That's
way
a
you
lot
have
of money.
72 platinum.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that would be a lot. Do you
That's a
remember
lot
where you
of fucking
got
money.
72 platinum?
No.
Is it supposed to be another coin?
I don't know. This is just what's in my character sheet.
So, Gideon, I will sell you a soul coin for 72 platinum.
What is a soul coin?
Well, he accepts it sorta as legal tender. It's what I used to sweeten my deal. But I don't think you have the platinum.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Was that supposed to be silver? Maybe?
No, just checked her
Um,
sheet and she has 10 silver. I have no idea why she has 72 platinum.
If it's on the sheet, it's legal tender. Crash the economy.
Have
I
have you ever introduced Electrum, Zach?
I don't think so. Because it's silly to use Electrum.
I will say
Agreed.
wherever that came from was probably before I joined, because I don't think I have gained a single coin since I have started playing this campaign, and I take it the
Yeah,
rest of
I
us
think
haven't
the
either.
same.
They've managed to get some money, but
We've often
Most
managed
not
to
like-
lose a lot.
Yeah,
that kind of money.
like yeah, usually as soon as you get it, you lose most of it, and
Fox
I
takes
think-
most of it anyway.
exactly. As soon as you get it, Fox loses most of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Give up some fingers.
I really don't want to lose my eyesight.
Oh, it's
Give up a
only one
hand.
eye. You can
The
keep
only
the
other
other.
the only other thing I have is this ring of psychic resistance, which already requires attunement. So, but I don't know. So this other item is gonna like boost my magic ability. So I guess I could lose my psychic resistance in order to gain some magic ability. If everybody else is giving up some magic-y item, then
You're
Oh,
always
yeah.
welcome to offer something else if you prefer to not give up an eye. Maybe a graft of your skin? Or a few fingers.
Yeah, get in. I don't mean to be what's the word?
Presumptions.
Gory and presumptuous. And I look over to Taz and I go, the fingers or hands of a skilled rogue would certainly be worth something.
What?
Whether or not that you use such, and he kind of just shivers and goes, ugh, currency is up to you.
Well, if we're going to be voicing our opinions on Gideon's decision, then allow me to stand as the voice of reason and say, don't make this deal.
why shouldn't I? Why would it be a bad idea to offer up some of my skin?
Why would that entity want it? There is nothing that could potentially benefit from you. Do not give in to any, do not sacrifice a piece of yourself for temporary trinket.
That is good advice.
Oh, it's
You know not what
it
he
is
will be
quite
doing with it.
durable. I wouldn't call it temporary.
Yes, but I
Uh,
will have this graft of my skin removed forever.
Does Vidalkin's skin not grow back? Every time you get a cut, it scars? I must research you.
I didn't realize it grew back.
It's skin.
I mean, sort of.
Oh, I guess being taken by a
perfectly.
magic man. Fair enough.
Yeah, who knows? There may be something else going on. The same way that I got, I don't know.
You could always let me experiment on you. I'm always in need of willing subjects.
You know what? I think I will pass on the experimentation. But I can give you my ring of psychic resistance.
And he kind of like eyes the ring for a moment and goes, "For the sake of a new business relationship, the glass eye in the ring, we'll call it good for the glove."
Nice. Pleasure doing business with you.
Indeed, I look forward to many more transactions in the future. And I'm going to put something on your sheet. You should now have a new thing in your equipment called the Glove of the Spell Sneak.
Can I trash these other the glass eye and the ring then?
Yeah, please remove those from your sheet.
Cool. Yeah, delete.
And it will require attunement, but you should be able to read the description, because I assume you're going to attune to it.
Yes, I will attune to it.
Zach, can I ask you a lore question?
Sure. You might have
If
to make
a-
a check.
Well, we'll see. As a minotaur, is it what's the word? I don't
Yes,
know.
it's big.
Bungus. Is it unhonorable to lose a horn, or like something in that vein, or is it like so long as I can fuck shit up, then I'm still?
So, it is honorable. It's less being a minotaur, more Actually, it is a little bit more in the minotaur. It is honorable to sustain permanent, injuries in battle. So, losing a horn, getting a massive scar, gouging an eye, breaking a bone in battle is considered honorable. I will also say that you recently met a Minotaur friend who seemed to have a similar background to you, and when his horn cracked, he could no longer turn off his rage.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. All right, never mind.
That was in the last few days, so I think that's something that might pop into Tavro's head as he's considering giving away one of his horns. He remembers that a similar thing happened to Weerun, and that permanently crippled him.
Yeah,
and
fair
drove
enough.
him
Okay.
somewhat insane.
Yes, so I'll not do that. I don't think I really have anything else to offer, so I'm just gonna. Tower's just gonna sit here with his new thing.
Now, I believe I offered you all a place to rest while you get used to your new relics. And then, shall I be returning you to Sculper's?
No.
Absolutely not.
Well, we could go to Rix Maadi, or we could actually finish what I have to do.
The issue, Fox, is that if we go to Windlot, we're going to have to go back to Rix Maadi through that entrance
Oh,
and see
no,
Sculper
no.
again.
You see, Rix Maadi and Winlot are part of the same area. You'll be able to access the two of those going between each other fairly easily.
Oh, I thought there were like two different gates to go to them.
It was more of like a stop on the train system.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, so like when you were going through the gate, you had the option of which one you were going to, but Winlot is the city of the Rakdos, and Rix Maadi is the Rakdos Guild Hall. It's basically just, are you
Gotcha.
going to like the Winlot Plaza, or are you going directly to the Guild Hall?
Yeah, I
Go
gotcha.
to-
I got.
I say go
And-
directly to the guild hall, because then when they inevitably kick us out, we'll at least be in another place we need to go.
Well, Connor, how much time do you have on that contract?
Only a few days.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I thought it was like only a few days, like months ago in real life.
Well, I had 10 days from opening it. And it's
After-
been, what, like...
3.
Yeah.
No, it's been much more than
It's
3.
been 4 days since he opened it, so after you rest, you will have 5 days left.
Oh, I thought it's been much more time.
This is why I got a calendar mod for Foundry that I can actually write these notes in.
Yeah,
Actually, once I finish this, we can speed walk on over to Rix Maadi, and you'll never hear another peep of it.
Are we going to be able to get into Rix Maadi? We've already put so much on the line to get there, and as you have noticed, we're not there now. I would just prefer to not hit another roadblock on the way in there, some unforeseen consequence that would delay us or otherwise prevent us from getting there when we have an easy access to it right now.
Yes, I'd be happy to teleport you to Rix Maadi for a price.
This is between us. You hold on.
Very well. And you see as he just kind of like goes back to the alchemy table he's been working on.
Fox, I know that this contract is on a limit, and I'd hate to see what would happen to you if you don't carry it out. You have my word that if the time comes and if you are running out of time and we're still in Rix Maadi, I will help you however I can, but I'm worried that our business there may also be time sensitive, and we've already wasted a lot of it.
Frankly, I don't think you understand how gravely this affects me. I will be going to Winlot either way.
Have any of us actually been to Winlot?
No.
Have any of us been to Rix Maadi?
Then therein lies the question, because there is the matter of getting into Rix Maadi. I'm operating under the assumption that it will be easier to leave Rix Maadi from Winlot than it would be to get into Rix Maadi from Winlot. If we are all brought within Rix Maadi, you may leave and go about your own business while the rest of us stay inside and carry out whatever business we need to attend to. But I would prefer that we do not disperse ourselves in case there is an incident that requires a unique skill set that one of us might possess.
But there also begs the question, will we be well received if we teleport into the guild hall?
Well, there is an old saying I've heard, how did it go? Ask for forgiveness, not for permission.
More of should we ask to be teleported to the entrance of, or just inside Rix Maadi or somewhere else?
We do all still have the mark of the Rakdos on us.
Yes.
Actually, wait. Is there any kind of role I could do? Would having that Rakdos mark, would that let us get into Rix Maadi since we look like, authentic guild members?
So that would get you into Winlot.
But not Rix
When
Maadi.
it was stated that Rix Maadi is currently like by business only because of the impending war. That being said, yeah, so like you know that you'd probably still need a reason that you're there.
Do we know the specific reason we need to get into Rix Maadi? Like, I know we need to get
because
there,
we're meeting our new handler there.
but do we know who that is?
I think their name was mentioned, but my journal got wiped, so...
Zach, was their name ever mentioned to us? Because we don't have the notes for it.
You have a name. Let me pull it up 1 second. Delancre.
Right, yeah, that sounds right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so you were supposed to be meeting Delancre in Rix Maadi, and then Fox has to meet a separate person in Winlot.
Okay. If we do have a person we are supposed to meet, that could be our ticket. That could allow us to get in, potentially. Knowing that, then I'm a little bit more okay with going to Winlot, because then we can get into Rix Maadi by saying, like, okay, we have an appointment with this person, even if you're not going to let us in, can you let them know that we're here? Or something like that.
I agree. However, just because fuck words. I think it is worth considering that if we're here on business, then perhaps we don't want our intention to meet with Delancre known. I woke up from a nap before this. I'm sorry, my words ain't good.
There are two options here. We're going to have to plead our case to get into Rix Maadi from Winlot, or we're going to have to explain how we were teleported into Rix Maadi. Either method we use is going to be liable for them to question us. We need not tell them what our intentions are. We simply need to tell them who we were summoned there by. Ideally, that will be enough for them.
Zach, was the sewer entrance to get into Rix Maadi or Winlot?
The sewer entrance you were told about was specifically for Rix Maadi directly.
Yeah.
The way that you went through Neoser was kind of a multi-way portal with the person or the demon on the outside controlling which way it went.
Mm-hmm.
Either to Winlot or Rix Maadi or, surprise, surprise, Sculper's mansion.
Right.
You don't really know too much about what's on the other side yet, but when you were told by the Elder about the portal that her blob went through, she said it went directly into Rix Maadi, and then the connection was severed because it was too far out of her range for such a small piece of it.
Right. And Tavos go to Escher and be like, what would have been our excuse if we had took the sewers?
The excuse would have been that like we had said originally, that we fought our way there, and we would have hoped that the Rakdos would respect our might makes right approach to entering Rix Maadi. It was not a good excuse, and hence why I did not advocate for it, if you remember.
Then perhaps we should just go to Winlot.
It could be possible. If we do know the name of this contact, then I suppose this could be acceptable, assuming that we do know that Fox is on a time limit, so it means we will not waste too much time with his matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Very well. Taz,
Yes?
are fruit pastries an acceptable bargain to go to Winlot?
You fucking piece of shit.
I'll ask the same thing I've asked a few times. Is there anything magical about them?
No, they're just delicious.
They're pretty good.
Taste magical.
Oh, well, if they're pretty good, yes, of course, I will trade my infinite magical powers to teleport you into one of the most restricted areas in all of Ravnica for a simple pastry.
I was
Listen,
gonna stand
I-
up and start slowly walking towards him.
Listen, I am trying to do well by you all in the sake of building a business relationship, as I am a proud broker of many things, teleportation magic being one of those. But I do not appreciate being insulted to my face.
Tavra.
Apologies, I really do like them. Would you like one for free then? As an apology?
Apology accepted. You may keep your
I'll go-
pastry, as I do not
Oh.
take things for free. I'm a broker after all.
Fair
No
enough.
merchant worth his salt takes something for free.
All right. What do we actually?
Take
Note
it in
added.
exchange for forgiveness. That's not free.
Explain sarcasm to Tavro.
Oh, Tavro knew that was sarcasm. He just thought it would be funny. He was hoping that like him just like pretending like he actually accepted would just be enough for him to be like, all right.
Oh, he's persistent, I'll give him that.
Yeah. Do we have anything else to get this guy to teleport us?
Not right now, but we have a long rest to discuss with him and figure out exactly what the price will be.
Okay, but like that long rest is like now in terms of real life. Like we still have to. It doesn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like we can people can do whatever other things they need to do now, while everybody else is kind of trying to figure this out. Is more what I meant.
And
Well,
you
Tavro's
hear
pretty
kind
much
of
good.
Kai just perk up and go, all right, it
conscious?
seems that we're going to be resting soon. Escher, look over my body. And you see as he uncorks the thing, drinks it, and then just goes, I'm going to sleep now, and just passes out on the ground.
Ah.
Well, that's certainly one option for the current situation. Since
Why
he didn't,
do
I
you
guess
all want to die so much?
you're one to talk.
Also, I would love to describe what happens to him, but Kai has a decision to make, and he hadn't decided before the session started, so that's going to wait for next session.
Cool.
Gotcha.
You see that his body warps and changes in a manner.
Oh,
Is he gonna get like more draconic?
That is dependent on his decision.
I was about to say I'm not qualified to deal with that, but I realized that I'm probably explicitly qualified to deal with things like that.
What is this? Hold on, I'm gonna take this call just to see whatever the fuck it is. I'm here though.
So, as I had proposed, and I am proposing again now, 1 hour before taking a long rest, at least for me, to attune to the book. Then I cast my last remaining spell slot, a level 4, and then I use the book, and I use it on learning stuff from Kranko's notes, and I do that both during the long rest, and if any extra time's needed, extend a little bit more hours afterwards.
So Connor, actually, that works out perfectly for me because you're taking 1 extra hour on top of the long rest.
Yes.
Perfect, because if in that hour, I'm going to use that to crank a bunch of my remaining spell slots into the Ring of Spell Storing.
I'll do that.
Because I have had that for a long time, and we haven't had a long rest in a long time, so I'm going to actually put things in it.
That's very fair.
We haven't leveled up at all, right?
No, you leveled up right before you went into the safe house.
Okay, yeah.
With the Elder, and you have not leveled up since then. That is when you got your Druid level.
Cool. Just making sure.
I now have 3 spells stored in there. Let me just burn those real quick, just in case I need to use them for anything else in the upcoming. You know what? We're not going to be doing anything else. I know what I cast. So is anybody else doing anything over this rest before we kind of come to the final decision on getting teleported? Because I figured that's also why I was saying is once we kind of know what the price is and once we come to an agreement, I figure we can just go.
Yeah, I mean, I just need to attune to my item as well. But yeah, after that, I'm fine.
Is Fake Clara doing anything? Lizzie's been abnormally quiet.
She's not here.
Not
She's
here.
not.
I am back.
Yeah, no, Lizzie's not playing tonight because she's on a plane.
I didn't know that. That explains
She
why
travels
she's
a
been
lot for work.
She does. Yeah, no, Fake Clara is just like talking to Mr. Taz every once in a while, and then you see as everyone's kind of like doing their pre-rest stuff, she talks to Taz for a moment, and then Taz just perks up and goes, this is a good point. Now that the goblin's out of the bag, would you like to know where the real Clara is, considering I could tell you? For a
It
price.
depends.
I could always just ask her.
Oh yeah, actually, wait, yeah, you can just do that.
She might not know though.
Is she off the plane?
Well,
What?
I think he's talking about Clara, the character, not Liz.
Sorry. Never mind.
Wait, are you saying like real Clara is on a different plane of existence, or Lizzie is still on her travel
No,
plane?
I just thought, I don't know why when you said Clara.
no, it.
It's Lizzie.
So I was just more of saying that maybe, like, she either wasn't conscious when she got to where she is, or otherwise doesn't know how to describe it. In which case, she can't really help us get to her.
I think regardless of the situation, information is something that we shouldn't really consider paying for, considering what we've already given up for your trinkets.
Yeah, I don't have a ton much else to give up.
Don't forget, we also need to get out of here, so keep that in mind.
Free transportation back from where you came.
Exactly. So we still have one price to pay. Let's consider how much we are putting on the line here. Plus, again, Fox is able to commune with her over great distances. This is information we may be able to acquire without accruing some kind of cost.
Escher,
Yes.
do you feel a connection to the Elder?
Yes, the damn thing is always in the back of my mind. It doesn't shut up, but I've learned to
Well,
keep it down
Aren't we?
quite a bit.
Aren't we on like Mr. Taz's like separate plane right now?
It doesn't quite work like that. That elder creature literally has a small piece of itself within me. Regardless of my distance to it, that piece will always be vocal.
But is it receiving on the other end as Tavra tries to like understand phones real quick?
That is something I don't think I would be able to. Perhaps I could test this a little bit.
Yeah, you
'Cause
haven't tried testing it out, so it's pretty much as you said. The piece that's within you is still within you, but communication between that and the main entity seems to be a more active process.
I'm gonna kind of focus in on that and let that little voice actually start talking again to try and forge a connection and like mentally try to commune with it just to see how Aldrich is doing.
Give me an Arcana check.
All right, I'm decent at those. So let's see. I'm predicting a 7 on this roll. Nope. That's about right.
That's an
That's
8.
about right. Yep. That's what happens when I'm good at things.
Yeah, so you like kind of open it up and you start to try and reestablish that connection to the main entity. And after a few moments, it just starts to create this piercing headache in you as like the voice from the elder just keeps getting louder and louder as if it's trying to shout out for the main body. And it gets to a point where it's like overwhelming you and you're not getting any response, so you cut it off.
Yeah, and so even like out loud, he'd just be like, "Ah, shut up! God, I know. Yes, all right." Tavra, it would appear that as I had kind of feared that whatever entity created this what did he call it, demi-plane that we reside in,
That would be
probably
me.
warded it between with psychic protections, whatever lines of communication. The psychic link between me and that entity is as well as its own piece is insufficient. It can't get through that barrier. So Fox most likely would not be able to commune with Clara until we leave here. Once we leave here, though, we do know he's capable of doing that.
Well then, not to say that you must do this, but if we need some way to pay for our teleportation back, then this might be one of the only times that you could give a blood sample and not have the Elder know.
Why would I do that?
Because, and I just look over to Mr. Taz, that might be interesting.
And
You know,
you
that-
still see just like he like chats with fake Clara for a moment and goes, "I would be interested in this."
Yes, of course you would.
See?
I'm interested in it. That's why I did it. But regardless, that does open up a rather intriguing line of thought that I suppose while my colleagues here are fiddling with their new toys, I could what's the word I'm looking for? I just blanked on the word. That I could inquire with you about.
If you have
have the
questions, I
time.
have answers.
Now I must ask, is a simple question going to cost me anything, or does it depend on the nature of the question?
It depends on the question. You can always ask, and I'll let you know if there's a price to pay before I provide any answers.
Then I'll start off easy, as I have several. This biological sample you've brought here to attempt to tempt me with. Would you care to elaborate exactly what it is? You need not shy away from the details, after all. I know what I'm talking about.
Ah, yes, the original spore that you developed your bacterial cloud strain from. Well, let's just say I took a particular interest in your research, especially given how it has, shall we say, cascaded a bit in the past few weeks. And so I decided to do some experimentation on the original strain from your documentation. Now, I was able to acquire the corpses of some of those who had been affected by both of the plagues ravaging the city, and I made
Both?
I made some modifications to it. I'm sure you're familiar with cancer cells. Well, I basically took the mutagenic part of that, causing it to rapidly change and expand, but cut out the more uncontrollable growth aspect. Basically, it's a sample of your bacteria strain that has a lot more mutagenic qualities built into it that haven't been realized yet, but just need a little bit of a psychic connection to prod them in the way you wish them to go.
Huh. Excellent. That, believe it or not, that's actually told me everything I need to know.
Yes, of course, the gifts I've prepared for you. You're welcome to ask any questions, and I'm happy to answer.
Yes, you've actually confirmed a theory of mine, and I've narrowed it down to two possibilities. This proves one of two situations. You're either a liar or a fool, and now I must decide which one. Regardless, you are still capable of teleporting us, and that is valuable. And that is the second question I have. He gestures to the goblin in our presence. You said you know where the real Clara is, correct?
But of course, I'm the one who brought her there.
What would the price be for the rest of, as a group, what would your price be to give her back to us?
Well, you see, the person I delivered her to is a very well-established and long-term client of mine. And I don't necessarily have any desire to disrupt that relationship with her.
I apologize. You must have misunderstood my question. I didn't ask where she was. I asked what the price is to get her back.
Frankly, probably more than you're willing to pay for. But I would take the free will of each of you for the next 2-3 decades.
Decades?
As I thought.
The one who wanted her, once again, is a very well-established client.
So I'd just like to say, Mr. Taz, Escher's a rather blunt man. He doesn't speak for all of us when he is like that.
Well, I simply speak the truth. Now, let me look.
Now, telling her where she is something that I could provide you with for a price.
Yes, we know it. You
yank her back out.
As you've said multiple times, but my party has already been tempted by your deals enough. The minimum amount of those we make, the better. I think we will settle on purely the teleportation into Winlot, if that is acceptable to the rest of our group. I'm sure we are capable of finding Clara on our own. Now, the question for the rest of you all is, what are we willing to put forwards in order to get us to Winlot?
Well, like I said, there's your blood, which would suffice.
I've already deemed that the entity that we are in our presence of has been... that if he is not lying, which I highly suspect that he is, if he has been working on the strains of the plague that I was responsible of, is a fool, and that is something I cannot trust a sample of my blood with.
Oh yes, to answer your earlier remark, I'm never a liar, but I have been called a fool quite a bit in my lifetime.
Strangely enough, every liar I've ever met has insisted they aren't one as well.
This is a fair point.
Tavra, to go back to what you were saying, though, the blood is out of the question. I have other capabilities that I am willing to part with that don't put all life on Ravnica at risk and great peril.
Your blood has that potential?
And he kind of just like looks back and forth and kind of just kind of does a small little nod and goes, yes, that's what. Never mind. We can discuss this later. It's not important, but what is important is getting something like that into the wrong hands is dangerous. And I would prefer to pay a price that is less consequential to others besides us. There's no need to make all of Ravnica pay for our decision.
Well, okay.
So the question
Then what do we give them?
Well, that actually was what I was going to ask, is what do we all have to offer? Because it seems clear... Yeah, actually, hold on.
I don't have any magic items left to offer other than my weapon. But I would not like to offer that up without a substitute.
And therein lies the issue, as Gideon's dealings with this Taz should have indicated to all of us. This is a being that seems to show little regard or care for our magical trinkets and baubles. It knows that we can be tempted with them easily, as you all have proved to it, but it has no interest for them. It doesn't need them. It already has plenty. It wants something from us that only we can give it. Something unique, I assume. Hence why it took Kai's sense of smell, despite my protest. I have a feeling we're going to have to give up something a little bit more precious to us for this.
Well, luckily for you, I just came across 72 platinum just lying here in the woods.
If only he took payment in coin.
Well, Mr. Taz seems to... That's not Towers. Mr. Taz seems to be an information broker as well as a magical broker. Is there any information we can offer him?
There is, and depending on what I can offer, I may be able to cover the cost of the teleportation, depending on how valuable he sees this information.
Then, go ahead, I suppose.
Worth a shot.
It is, however... I'm not Fox, I won't hold you in debt for this.
Thank you.
Taz, I have a question for you.
And what would that be?
You said you're interested in magic, correct?
Yes, that is one of my few interests, actually.
As it just so happens,
Got a hobby.
my studies with the Simic and the work I've done in the biological fields, as well as my time with the Golgari, have granted me a formulation of powers that could be relegated to the arcane in some sense. I believe I may have something to offer you.
I'm listening.
For the teleportation, I can offer you a piece of my magic instead of a piece of my body. The biological nature and the primal, you could call it, connection to magic that I have and to the arcane weave gives me a bit of flexibility in how I'm able to manipulate it. Clearly you're capable of taking things that others aren't. What if I offer you my memories of some of my magic that I learned from the Simic?
You wish to lose access to some of your magic?
I am trying to find out how to explain this in a not in-game terms. So obviously I have prepared spellcasting. I can change the spells that I have any day. What I'm offering is I will give him basically my memory of a spell so I can never prepare it ever again.
And that is basically exactly how he is taking that. Like, okay.
So, Zach, from your perspective, my choice of the spell, I'm offering up 1/3 level spell to him. And I will give him, I'm going to give him one of the spells that I do not get from my class. It is one of the ones that I believe, or actually no, it might be from, because I either got it from my subclass or from being part of the Simic, and I just want to see which one it was. I think it was from being a Simic in the Simic though. Yeah, so I'm offering him a 3rd level spell that I specifically learned from the Simic as a way of saying, like, I'm giving some of the things I learned from my guild to him. Like, because that's, like, actual knowledge that I learned from them.
Now that is worth a free teleport.
For all of us, not just myself.
Oh yes, yes, I have no... Once again, I wish for this to be the start of a long and prosperous business relationship. Fucking you over wouldn't necessarily be good for that.
So you've said, but forgive me if I find that hard to believe.
If it makes you feel any better, your cleric may bind me to a contract stating that I teleport all of you this one time.
He just goes over, Fox, can you do that?
Fox will quickly spew out, stop doing what he's doing, pull out a piece of paper, write it down really quickly, sign it, and hand it on over to Escher and be like, knock yourself out.
Can Escher do some kind of roll to make sure this is ironclad, that there's no loopholes? Not that he doesn't trust Fox, but I just want to make sure.
Sure, honestly, that would probably just be a straight intelligence roll, or, like, investigation.
I'll do investigation because I'm not proficient in it, so that is a straight roll. Dope. I can't roll today. I shouldn't be touching dice.
There's a reason Fox is the contract guy. There's legalese in here that's going straight over your head, but from what you can understand, it says that he will teleport you this one time. If he does not do it, he immediately dies, and it is in exchange for the everlasting memory of one spell from your Simic training.
How did you draft all of this so fast?
I did it for 4 years. Yes. And then I studied for another.
So how are we getting out of here?
Seems acceptable to me.
Gideon, have you not been paying attention at all?
No, I mean, when we get in there, like, once we get teleported, and we do what we need to do down there, how are we leaving?
Well,
I
like,
figured-
leaving to go back to not Winlot?
Right. If he's
I figured
teleporting us here- if he's
Entering
teleporting us
exiting
once-
the same gate we went through.
Yeah, I'm operating under the assumption that getting out of any of these places is going to be way easier than getting in, since they don't want us there really in the first place.
No, so that's a future problem if there are any complications.
I imagine it's one of those things where if we say, "Hey, we want to leave," they're gonna say, "Good, get out."
Okay, that was my question.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that yet.
Okay. I'm just nervous that if he's only got to transport us here once, and then we get into another hairy situation down the road that we need to get out of.
Then
So-
He's not going to be able to help us out again.
big Minotaur muscles will murder.
But also, we'll still have fake Clara.
And possibly real Clara by the time we are leaving.
If you're ever in need of services, it doesn't do very well to have a broker you can't contact. And he pulls out a small sack of coins and hands each of you a coin that just says Mr. Taz on one side and broker on the other side. Flip that and we can talk. Wherever, whenever.
I was so tempted to say Tavro flips it. Oh, there.
The Mr. Taz coin.
I have done I'm gonna take the long rest now, just so I don't have to do it later, so I have the benefits of it, because there's nothing else I need to do. So
Yeah, I want to ask Mr. Taz one last thing, and then I'm good to go, so we can actually maybe do something this session.
that'd be neat.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Why would you want that?
Yeah, you're right. Let's just sit here and keep talking with Mr. Taz about pastries. But yeah, after like Escher thinking about this, deal to get us teleported is going on. Tafaro's going to go over and ask Mr. Taz, you you clearly, yeah, you clearly know what my power is. So, and to be clear, I don't have the means to barter for, broker for this information right now, but simply to know if this is something you could perhaps, if you do know or could perhaps learn for the future. I met another Minotaur like me who was permanently stuck, embiggened, and affected by the rage he had been using all this time. Do you happen to, yes or no, have any information that might help me to avoid such a fate?
Yes.
Then I'm sure we'll be. I will likely have business with you later, but for now I do not have much I'm willing to part with for such information. Thank you.
Of course. Yes, that is definitely information that is of the paid variety.
Yes, I I figured that, which is why I just wanted a yes or no. The coin will come and help handy with that then.
If there's anything you would like to know in the future, you can always tell me now and I can make sure my research is done before you call on me next, so that you wouldn't have to wait at that point. I do have some information about Korgeth, but depending on the specific inquiry of your question, I may need to do a little discovery.
In that case, then for me, obviously avoiding the fate I've just described would be one. Second, if you happen to come across any weaknesses or secrets to taking down Borborigmos, then that would be of great interest to me.
Oh, I have information on all of the guild leaders. That is something I pride myself on. It's very expensive information, though.
Yes, that much I figured. But I suppose if we think of any more, then we can just use the coin to let you know.
Exactly. That's what it's there for.
Oh, very nice.
Do be careful, though. If you're being scryed while you flip it, there could be consequences.
I see. So what you're saying is get Fox here to detect magic beforehand. Actually,
just be careful. Divining magic is, shall we say, a bit chaotic when it interacts with mine.
Understood. I'm actually going to write that in the description real quick for the coin. Anyone else is welcome to do things unless we're just going to teleport.
There's actually one thing that I did think of. Zach, we don't have to full RP this because I want to fucking teleport this session. I just want to know how valuable, because we would have probably discussed this. How valuable does Taz consider the information about Clara's, location?
Location is...
Is that cheaper?
Location isn't that expensive. It seems that that's one of the ones that he kind of wants you to ask for because it would be easy for him to share and keep building up the so-called business relationship.
What about location and who was she bought? Is that what he said?
He didn't say she was bought. He said that the person who requested her be delivered to them.
Okay.
That is more private information.
So, I'll just, pure metagame perspective, only asking, because I'll just tell you what I'm thinking. I will offer up very similar deal for that information, but it's going to be first level spell. And it's not one of the ones that that the Simic taught me. It's one of the ones that I think I've started working on myself.
Yeah,
So it's
first,
it's for my class. It's just a first level spell that I'm basically just taking it off my class list.
yeah, first level spell would be like getting Clara's whereabouts. It
That's
would be
it?
like a 4th or 5th level spell to get the name of the person who got her.
Damn. Okay. I'll settle for the whereabouts as long. And if I will tell them though that I get the choice of which spell I choose. Like I will choose one first level spell off of my class
Yeah,
list. And
all of this is up to you because you're the one who'd be giving up a spell.
okay. Then if that's the case, I'll take that. I will get rid of. I will remove one first level spell from the list, give it to him, and I want to know where she is.
She is
Like I'll do that right now.
Yeah. Very well. It will be interesting picking apart your brain. And you feel as, like, the memories, and even... It's not even memories. Like, you can still remember the concept of the spell. It's almost as if you forget how to... It's a loss of understanding.
Yep. Because the one I'm giving him is some of my own research that I have done, and I was like trying to get this spell to work, and I'm gonna give up all the progress I was making on that.
Yeah. Like, the best real world equivalent I can give is, it's like, if you had a memory and suddenly, like, you still have that memory, but the entire thing was converted to Japanese.
Yeah, that works.
She is in the magnificent mansion in the northwest royal quarters of Winlot. Or at least that's Or at least that's where I've delivered her to.
Fox, you hear that? Winlot. Maybe we are going to the right place.
I already knew that.
No, you didn't.
That we were going to the right place.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
That
Real
is
quick, is it win lot or win lot?
Win.
Gotcha.
I can actually put it in the chat.
All right. Well, yeah. Somebody write that down so we know where it is, and I'm gonna make sure that I have this spell marked off, as I can never use this again.
Unless he maybe broker for its use later.
Nah. I'm not gonna need it. This one I was offering up a cheap one. This was the gimme to see what I could get away with, because it's one that is only situationally useful for now.
Oh, did you change it during the long rest?
No. I'm just
It's from the spell list. I understand.
Yeah, so basically I took for this one, since it's only information, I'm taking animal friendship off my spell list.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to be friends with the animals anymore?
I had theories that I could potentially manipulate their brains using my colonies to make particular neurons fire when I wanted them to, but I don't remember how to do it now. I know I wanted to, but that was one that I could have seen myself taking one day if the situation was right, and now I can't.
All right, teleport.
Yeah.
Wait. Can I attune to my item?
Yes, so during the long rest you can attune to the item.
Okay. I think I took the long rest last week.
Well, you can just say that you attune to the item.
Okay. Do I have to, like, equip it in a special way, or...
There's a little, like, sun icon. Oh, wait, no, hold on.
Yeah,
that's
there
not...
should be, like, a sun icon next to
There's
it.
not.
Oh, you know what? I think that's because of how I set them up. I will fix that in between sessions.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I think you're...
Because I have to set the item to be requires attunement. So I'll just update that between sessions.
Cool.
But you were able to, like, see the description and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it makes sense how that works for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good to me.
Cool. So you're all able to gain the benefits of a long rest, and after the I guess 9 or so hours because there was some time taken apart for the attunements and spell storing. Fox, I believe you had something you wanted to do with your book.
Indeed. Shall I just make the con save with advantage then?
Make the con save with advantage and tell me what it is you're trying to learn.
Specifically, I'm looking, well, for someone that has. I'm trying to do an Arcana check. Basically, someone that has studied either the theory or best would be practice, but I'm probably gonna do best with like the theory of this, so I can make sense of the notes and try to decipher what's being said and see if there's anything usable for any of us or that could possibly become usable.
Okay. Give me the... Well, you don't... Give me the... Just give me what your Arcana modifier is. Okay, and you take a level of exhaustion. But I guess it doesn't matter that much because you were going to be resting right after, right?
Yeah. My Arcana modifier is +0.
So you got a 20 on the Arcana check then?
Yes.
Okay. So this is pretty much between you and Escher because I believe the others went to sleep while you were wrapping up your nightly business. But you, after attuning to the book and kind of like solidifying your understanding with it, you pull out Krenko's notes and start leafing through them. And as you focus on that, you open up the tome. And as you do, the pages kind of just start like flipping really quickly until it lands on a page and you just hear, like, in your mind, just the whisper, Ixava. And you see as that name kind of glows in the book and then disappears after a moment. And Escher, you see, after a moment, Fox begins speaking to himself. As if he's having a conversation with himself. But every other line is the voice of an older woman.
Him too now, great. They're all talking to themselves.
Well, the difference here is that you can hear the voice coming back because it's also coming from him, but it's a completely different person's voice. And you see as Fox is like asking questions like, okay, like he'll point at a part of Krenko's notes and go, what does this mean? And she will, he will respond to himself in the woman's voice of, oh, that is the, like, third dialect of blood magic, or it's used for this, things like that. And over the next about hour, as you pore over these notes, Fox, for you, you're kind of in this strange trance of asking these questions and then letting this spirit take over your body and answer you. But you do learn, so the notebooks and like the notes that you stole from Krenko's manor or Krenko's workshop are completely based around the fundamentals of blood magic and how to use blood magic acquired from a blood witch not only for immortality but specifically to make your soul unable to be contracted.
Ah, shit. This is cursed knowledge.
Yeah, he's basically looking for immortality of not just the body, but like even after he dies, immortality of the soul under his control. Not like a lich where you're overcoming for arcane knowledge. It is more of if you are ever somehow your immortality is broken, this is basically research into how to become a self-aware and non-broken minded revenant.
Ah.
Ouchie.
And it seems that one of the ways he's been going about that is testing by making clones of himself and having them apply these concepts and then killing them to see if they come back as a revenant, he has not succeeded yet. At least as far as the notes you took went.
Oh. Well,
Are there
I
any
guess
dates in these
Alright.
notes?
Sorry, what was that, Gideon?
Are there any dates in this notebook?
There are experiment dates, yes. Or experiment logs, I guess I will say. So most of it is notes, and then there was also like a kind of loose sheath of papers that they got aside from the notebooks, and those all seem to be experiment logs. These experiments seem to be going over the last 8 or so years. It takes a few months to grow a clone. So
Do any of these logs line up with when we killed the Krenko?
well, when you killed him, these were logs that you took from his place, like, right after you killed, or right after fake Clara fake killed him.
Right, right.
So these are all from the past. The most recent one was about 2 months before. Which, that actually, if you're going through it, Gideon, because this is part of something that you've worked on with the Boros, coincides to the same day as he apparently broke out of his prison transport.
Okay. Can I make that information not like aware to the group? Like I say that to them.
Sure.
Also, just a quick question, because it sounds like Fox was having a bit of an ordeal. Like, I mean, I would probably just even ask him, like, does he have, like, full memory of all of that happening? Like, is he still in control of himself?
Yes.
Okay, well then, just to be safe, Asher would kind of just tear out, like, 2 pages of the notebook and hand it to Fox, and it just has, like, the full transcript of the conversation he was having with himself, and he'd just be like, just to make sure you know everything that happened, you seemed a little not yourself?
I like to imagine he just looks up and both voices just say, "We're fine," at the same time as he resumes doing his ask and answer.
I'm gonna keep writing this down anyway, because I'm not sure what that means.
What is notable, though, is at the end of this hour that you're doing this research and you're willfully allowing a piece of you to be possessed by this spirit, helping you with the research and explaining the pieces that you don't quite understand. At the end of that, you realize you no longer remember anything about... I actually need you to roll a D100 for me. Because the failed constitution check means you do lose a memory. Okay, let me check. You no longer remember your inauguration into the Orzhov. You know that you're a member of the Orzhov. You remember all your work in the Orzhov. The whole day that you officially became a member of the guild, gone. It's as if it never existed. And you see just below Ixava's name in the notebook, it says Fox.
I see. Well, I am not going to mention that.
All right. So
Anyway,
other than that,
long
you
rest.
all gain the benefits of a long rest. Fox, your exhaustion is dissipated. And as you all wake up, one of you does not. Kai is still passed out on the ground.
Oh god.
Possibly more scaly.
Possibly more scaly, to be determined next week. But as you wake up, Taz kind of just goes, "Ah, yes, him. He'll be out for another few hours, I would suspect. You see, the transformation he's undertaking is a bit... Well, my research says it's quite vigorous. So, given the spirit of our agreement, I would recommend that I teleport all of you now. The payment is still 1, and when he wakes up, I'll send him off to meet you all."
Agreed.
He chose to drink that, so whatever happens to him is on him. That's a fine agreement by me.
For proper tie-in of that, I'm also, let's say, making some improvements to your new companion. So I'll send the Clara duplicate over with Kai when he wakes up. I'm almost done with her changes.
Yeah, it's fine. You can do whatever you want with that one.
Very well. To Winlot you go. Anything else before I leave you? Or rather, you leave me?
Do we have to hold hands?
Oh, not when you're here.
Yes.
I mean, you're welcome to if you would like.
No, that's quite alright.
I would not.
Unless it's with news there.
Yeah, because I don't... Yeah, no, everything else...
Neptune. I've spoken.
Zippity's up.
Now, one thing to note. I'm teleporting you into the middle of the Rakdos city in the middle of a potential assault on the Rakdos. They're going to be on high alert. You may want to prepare yourselves for a fight. And as he says that, he snaps his fingers, and all of you find yourselves teleporting to a new location.
Did I ever give him the
Whoa!
spell? I don't recall him asking.
Oh, yes, I thought that was before the long rest.
I mean, no, I'm not giving it to him until he's about to do it to us. I want to make sure he's serious about this.
Oh, fair enough. Then at that point, you feel whatever spell you chose fading, like literally as you feel your body fading out as you begin to teleport into this new place.
Okay.
It's almost as if the memory and understanding of whatever that spell is left behind with Taz.
All right. Because I was just gonna ask, is the price still a 3rd level, or for teleportation, could I get away with a 2nd level?
You offered a 3rd level, so he's taking a 3rd level.
Okay, I mean, I just wasn't sure because again, that's like a metagamey thing. I didn't know if how powerful of a magic he's
You
expecting,
you may be able to negotiate in the future. This time, because of what you offered, he's going to take that.
Yeah, that's fine.
And let me pull you over to a new map.
No skin off my back.
Wow, it's weird only pulling 4 of you onto a map.
Just put everybody on it.
The others aren't here.
I mean, they will be eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put their tokens on as well, but like for now.
Except for because he actually isn't there.
And I think it should be loading now.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think I also need to turn on global illumination for the... Yep. Alright, I think you should all be able to see now.
Yep.
It's loading.
It's still loading.
They are pathetic. I am here.
Oh no.
Now I can
Well,
see. Woo!
turns out all of the walls were deleted on this map at some point.
Oh,
You all gain building X-ray vision for a session, I guess.
I can see.
You
I
know
can't.
what? That's fucking. You should be able to see Tavro.
I cannot. It's all black.
yeah, I
I
can't see.
could see for a second, and it had that error.
Hey, there we go.
What error?
Oh, I thought that was what you guys were talking about. Let me just refresh.
Yeah, you might just need to refresh the page. Sorry about
I'm
that.
in.
But you kind of like you all just as he like snaps his fingers and you hear this, the
Oh,
first thing
wait,
you
I just got
notice,
canvas drawing failed. Cannot read properties of null. Like, I saw everything and then it just went black.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
I'm good.
For now.
Did the refresh help?
I'm
it's still
refreshing
working
it
out.
now. So wait, Zach,
Okay,
did
I
you
can
make
see
this
again.
the active scene, or did you put each individual character on the scene
No,
one by one?
I just made this the active scene.
Okay, yeah, because I've tried to do that, but I've noticed that in this version, when I've tried to move like individual characters between scenes, it has broken my Foundry.
Interesting. No, I just made this active. When I said I wasn't pulling everyone in, I meant I was only putting 4 tokens on the map.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I literally had to remake an entire level of a dungeon because I tried to move one token to the next level and it just wiped that whole level because it just gave me an error and like destroyed everything on it. So
So far, so good.
word of warning.
But yeah, apparently activating the scene deleted all of the walls on it, so there might be some sort of bug. I'm not happy about that. It's whatever. You can just see what all of the buildings and people inside of them are, I guess.
I just zoomed in.
Like, it's not that big a deal. Like, you shouldn't be able to see anybody's names or anything.
Okay.
But
I'm loading back in. We'll see if this works for me.
yeah, and then I'll describe once everybody's in.
I'm at 99. I mean, I saw it. Like, I saw what was going on.
Okay,
I kind of know.
sure. Yeah, while you're loading in. So,
I was
as
in for a few minutes.
Taz snaps his fingers and you all find yourselves kind of like fading in and out of existence for a moment. The first thing that you notice is like what sounds like screaming. And for a moment, it's like terrifying, as if there's something awful on the other side. And then you realize that you've all at least heard from the Gore House. It's not necessarily the sounds of painful screams, but screams of delight and debauchery. And there is all sorts of sounds and smells that hit your senses before the light of the area fades in around you. And you find yourselves kind of stepping out from a statue in the middle of a large plaza, and like you see as there's kind of like these like moss and flowers growing on around your feet where you step out of this thing. And you see, as you look around, there are just a few people right directly around you who at first were watching this performance of a bunch of performers on a big stage around a fountain in the center of the square. And as you step out, they turn to you, because people teleporting into the middle of your city tends to be more exciting than some random performers. And you just hear a shout. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Oi.
Sorry about that. But
All
they kind of turn to you, and the one of the performers on the stage, who is this man like dressed in Rakdos garb, who's been swallowing knives and spitting fire out where he just swallowed blades a moment ago, shouts out, "New guests arriving in Winlot. Let's give them a proper welcome, since they didn't come through the proper way."
Oh,
Well, so just to be clear, do we just appear here, or do we like come out of the statue here?
You kind of like
Or what?
tumble tumble out of the statue. It's almost as if like the statue opened up a portal and then you all phased in. Like you didn't like fall out or anything. You're still standing just where you are, but it was almost as if like the statue created this portal that you were summoned into. And actually, anybody who wants can give me either an investigation or an arcana check.
Oh, I'm actually good at those. So let's
I might as
see
well
how low I
try.
roll this time. Are you fucking kidding me? I
You know
have not
what?
rolled above
You
a
did
5 tonight.
Better than a 0.
What?
Damn.
Gideon, you, like, just quickly looking around, you are, given your training, you are used to always assessing your situation quickly and focusing on figuring out what's going on before
There we
other
go.
people, and seeing more minor details. Because you saw, like, as you're fading in, it seems like the statue had some sort of portal aspect. You see that embedded just behind one of the statue's eyes is a very faint glint of metal, as opposed to the stone that it's made out of, and it's the same strange hue as the coins that Mr. Taz has given you.
interesting.
And the like fire-eating performer just shouts out, "Now who comes to Winlot on the night of the performance of the jesters?"
When Tavro first realizes that there's people who like see us immediately as like we like just appear here, I'm just gonna go, ta-da!
Give me either a performance or a deception check.
Both of these are +0, so I'll give it performance. It's just luck.
You see, like, not the performers, but like 2 of the people who are watching the performance are just looking at you confused and like just start giving you like slow applause, like not really sure if this is actually part of the performance or not.
Oh, sorry. I'm a little late. As I just touch Tavro and make him glow as he's doing the ta-da.
All right, give me one more performance check. We're gonna make this an advantage.
Nice.
Hey, slightly better.
And they just start clapping slightly faster. And you see as like the one that is dressed as like the skeletal jester, with the same kind of outfit as you saw the guard at the Gore House when you first came in, kind of like does a little like flip and hops down and lands right next to the statue. And just because you're closest to him as he lands, Escher, he just kind of like puts a bony hand up to your face and goes, "Now what have we here? Performance is not free to watch, whether you teleport in or not."
I just roll down my sleeve to show where I have them, like to make sure they can see the mark of the rack that the rack has put on me, like the magical brand. And I would just be like, if it's not free, having it in the middle, out in the open in the middle of Winlot seems a little strange. But what is the price?
The price is your rapt attention and the attention of our other customers. But you seem to be intent on
Oh,
taking
fuck.
that from us?
Hold on.
Take the light off me. Fox, take the light off me.
I would
The light.
I would just say, my apologies. With everything I've heard of the entertainment in the Rakdos, I was under the assumption that a simple teleportation would not be able to hold a candle to the performances that carried on here. And from your acrobatic stunts, I can see that I may have been right.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh boy, what do we think? Can I roll above a 5 tonight? Let's see. It's better.
With all of the newcomers to our city, they haven't been delighted in all of the revelries that we normally put on. Simple teleportation and lights is enough to get the attentions of these rabble coming from the 10th district. But if you're so intent on taking our audience, whether intentional or not, well, let's show a proper Winlot welcome, everybody. Jesters, we're having a performance off.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Now, I'm not one without a sense of fairness. You're the approacher, the challenger. You may dictate the means that we will get. We'll resolve this. Whoever gets the most applause from the audience, and he waves out to, like, the 4 random people who have been watching them, and he goes, whoever gets more applause gets to win, and chooses their price from the opponents. Now, name your game, name your show, and show us what newcomers to Winlot have against the Grim Jesters.
I might regret this, but... And if we refuse?
Then it's our choice, and I choose combat. It's been too long since I've shed blood.
I think that's better for Tavro.
Yeah.
Allow me to discuss with my compatriots. Fox, are you familiar with the legal system in Winlot?
I'll just look over at him and say, they spit on the legal system.
So, is murder in the streets acceptable here?
Correct. This is a murder cult.
Yeah, like, to be clear, it's not just acceptable, it is encouraged.
So, hear me out. Staring contest.
Excuse me?
Staring contest.
It's not much of a performance.
Yeah, but we did get to name it. Fox, I presume you would be the one to do this. would you
Indeed.
not?
I would.
I suppose that would be acceptable. They did offer us the opportunity.
I could also, I would also be fine with a singing competition.
Would you?
And Tava's, and Tava's gonna just like chuckle like, it's not exactly what you think.
I don't know what that means, and so I think I'm going to say that Fox's idea is the.
I could get a lot of claps.
Go on.
And I just kind of like tap the helmet/mask on my head.
I don't know what that means. Look, I don't want to have to murder 5 people in cold blood in the streets of Winden, or fucking Winlot. So if there's something you can do to help us.
And yeah, Tava's gonna walk by and go, very well. I propose a singing competition.
And you said it's whichever side gets the most claps, right?
Applause, cheers, screams, however you wish to quantify it. The better reaction from the crowd, the winner!
Very well. Who goes first?
We are the challenged. I think it's only fair that we get to begin.
Very well.
And he just turns back to Escher. Is this acceptable?
Oh, you've mistaken me for the leader of this group. This is his doing, and I just kind of motioned to Tavro. He's capable of making his own decisions. We believe in free will.
We do? Cole?
Well,
Vinny, is there a reason why you put a base 64 image string in there?
It was supposed to be a gift.
Don't you hate
Alright.
when that happens?
And he goes, well, Temnas, you've been our main performer for the night. Singing is your specialty, is it not? Let us begin. And you see as he kind of like goes back onto the stage, and the one who has been like swallowing swords and belching fire begins to let out like this deep melody, and with every note more and more flames are coming out of his mouth until he's just spewing this giant ball of fire into the air while he's singing this like strange discordant song. It's almost like it's almost like I don't have the musical knowledge to properly describe it. It's very discordant and very kind of like dark and slow, with these deep droning lyrics that just keep adding on to the flames above his head. And he is going to give a performance check.
Does anybody know silence by any chance? Just curious.
I do.
That'd be funny, but no, I don't. I
You
think,
ever
I think
prepared?
one of
I
us
have it
does.
prepared.
Do
Ah.
it. No, you don't have to. I think
All I'm
my
saying
plan
is-
will work just fine.
And
Well, I
you-
was gonna say you could silence the crowd, so that way there's no reaction. But
And like as he kind of approaches the end of this song, and you see as the flames above his head start to like not just become this ball of fire, but take shape into animals that are playing out the scene that he is singing, as like he's describing this great like this slow sad battle between various beasts. And you see as the flaming beasts fight it out in the air above him, you just hear like a splattering of applause and cheers. Honestly, not as much as you would expect for the spectacle that you would not normally expect to see in the Overcity. And as that wraps up, he just kind of like clears his throat and calls down, "And for you, Minotaur."
Yeah, I'll start walking forwards, and I just go, should I take the stage?
Be my guest. And he like steps off to the side and vacates the kind of like main pulpit area.
And as I come up, I'm just gonna go, ladies and gentlemen, today you'll be witnessing a performance unlike any you've ever seen. If you want to, while I will be singing, there will also be more of a performance alongside. You'll want to get closer for this.
And I'm just gonna like, as I do, like, I'm like gonna start walking and be like, "Oh, sorry, excuse me, I really need to see this. This is such a great performance." As I like talk to the person, as I like rush on by, and just like, "Oh, I've seen him perform before. You want to get close?"
yes, I have no idea how he does it. Maybe this time I'll be able to figure out how it works.
All right. So with that, they kind of like all come up close to the stage, and with Escher and Fox kind of like egging them on, I will consider that the help action. So Tavro, even though this is meant to be a performance, I assume give your intimidation check with advantage after you breathe in.
Yeah. Hold on though.
Sorry, are you just gonna scream?
Yeah. So first, I'm just gonna start breathing in and out as if I'm preparing. I'm just gonna slowly. Oh fuck! Sorry, I still have the ruler up. Slowly start walking over here, and then as if I'm about to begin the performance, I'm going to rage so that I get large. Hold
Is
on.
there a reason
Where the
you
fuck?
didn't do that on the stage? Oh, right. Yep, I remember now.
Time. Just time. And well, you probably know.
Because it's I forgot that it's cone.
Why can't I? For some reason, rage isn't in my effects, which I think it is meant to be.
Just click rage on your active abilities in features.
Oh yeah, it's in the toolbar, not the stupid. Ugh. I'm not gonna consume this woman. I'm just putting it right here.
Consume.
MQO.8.9. That's a new one.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna breathe in deep and just start to grow. And just in case combat somehow ensues right after, I'm gonna choose Thunder Elemental Cleaver on my spear.
Thunder's loud.
And then I'm going to turn around from having walked this direction, look this way, right? Turning this way. And then I am going to use the mask and shriek. And so it's a 30-foot cone, which I don't have a template for.
Oh, let me just.
Oh, I think. Let me. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, doing that just.
So that would be. I don't know how you want to angle this.
I was gonna have it started right here.
You could angle that down slightly to get the one other dude. No?
No, I
Apparently
don't think
not.
so.
I know. I think these four. Is this?
I'm fine with calling this these four.
Gotcha. I'm sure there's probably a way I could get it to be like that.
You're not in combat. You can take the time to line it up. You already called that they should come closer. Yeah. You can set it up so that you catch all four audience members in your shriek.
Yeah. And so yes, I'm going to shriek. Unfortunately, it is a save, and so I don't think the help actually helps unless maybe circumstance bonus or some shit like that.
You know what? For this one, what I'm gonna do is, because you got the help action, I'm gonna take the I'm just gonna say you have a +2 to the intimidation DC for this.
Gotcha. So that's an 18 DC to hit
they have
these
to make
four.
A wisdom save, right?
Wisdom save, yes. Come on. Nice.
9, 10. Damn.
Okay. Well, so one passes. But as that succeeds on some of them, and after I shriek, I'm just gonna go cheer.
Wait, sorry, it cut out for a second. You go what?
Cheer, clap.
So, yeah, you all just see as Tavro gathers everyone up, slowly walks off the stage while breathing so heavily that he doubles in size, and then the jaw on his new mask unhinges, and all of these white porcelain bone faces come out of the unhinged jaw, like it comes down to his chest, and just this stream of faces begins to let out the most metal screech you've ever heard as they like extend out, and you just see these fangs chomping from these mouths as all of them are harmonizing in this awful, terrifying shriek. And you just see the people in the audience like look up at him in fear, and the three of them that he terrified are just like, as he says cheer, they just start going buck wild as they fall to their knees, and you see like tears pouring down their faces in fear. And then the fourth one, who wasn't afraid, is just looking at the other three and laughing his ass off, clapping at their fear.
Good.
You
At
win.
least there's still a reaction.
Yeah, well, we don't have to kill him.
Hey, we still can.
No. Him. This guy. If he didn't cheer, we'd have to kill him.
Oh yeah.
And as three of them are basically cheering as a way to beg for their lives so that you give them mercy, and the fourth one is just laughing at the terror you have struck in them. The like performers on stage are just looking at you kind of dumbfounded, and then the jester, not the jester, the fire eater who was singing before, just starts giving a slow clap and goes, "Well, I did not think that's how that was gonna go, but
Neither did we.
And then like after like I get like that like good reaction, I'm just gonna do like a small bow.
And you just see as the jester kind of like comes down, puts this bony hand on Tavro's shoulder, and you feel it's like kind of cold to the touch, and he just goes, "Lord Rakdos would be proud. Have you ever wanted to join a traveling troupe?"
And I just go. I assume right about now I start shrinking.
As you just deflate.
But I just go, oh, I still have the fucking ruler on. I just go, I haven't given it much thought.
Well, it seems that I'd be happy to introduce you to our little troupe. I think that
Let's go.
it would be
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
quite nice to have someone of your, shall we say, vocal caliber traveling with us.
And I just go, that may interest me, very much. What is your name?
I am the leader of the Grim Jesters, Yovas.
And I just go, Tavro, a pleasure.
And he just gives like this deep bow that like it's deeper than anything should be able to. He almost folds in half as he bows and goes, "My pleasure." And right around that, you see, I know you could already see through, but this window right here kind of like bangs open, and you see a goblinoid face kind of poke out, and he goes, "You know you're supposed to keep it a bit more quiet while I'm doing..." And then he sees where the sound is coming from, looks you all up and down, and you all recognize the long-nosed
Franco.
face and the scrap metal helmet of Krenko the Goblin Mob Boss. And you just hear him go, "Oh shit," and slam the window barricade shut behind him, and I think that's a good place to end the session.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's-
Krakow, where's my money? Where's my money, Krakow? I know you haven't.
And just as like a final note, I'm gonna turn back to what was his name? Yavas?
Yovas.
Yovas. I'm gonna write that down. I'm just gonna look back and be like, it may have to wait, and prepare to like charge the fuck.
Kind
And
of
I can see him through the wall. I'm like, is that Krenko or is that just The token that looks like him.
Connor, you might want to move out of the way. We're probably gonna send him through that door.
Well, I mean, I think this is a window.
I'd prefer you go through the door.
This is the door.
Yeah, no, I will. Just more
Go
of
through
making
the
sure you
door
didn't
to
think I was gonna be.
Yeah, no. We'll send you through the door, bust in there, and maybe we'll grab that little fucker.
Tavro,
Yeah.
for the fun of it, I'll say that this has all been 6 seconds. You can still be in rage at the start of initiative next session. Because, like, because this isn't a computer game, I have to say things linearly, but that was pretty much all at once.
Right. Yeah, and that's Tavro's first successful performance.
Yeah, well, okay then. Didn't know you could do that.
Well, that's new.
Well, maybe your deal with the devil was worth it. Maybe.
But yeah, I think I told Connor at the bar over the weekend what my item was. But Vinny, just so you know, like I've expertise in intimidation while I'm raging now,
Oh god.
and I can do that shriek thing, which is based on my intimidation bonuses. So like the normal DC is 16 if I'm
Sweet.
raging.
Damn.
And then if one last thing after I say that to Yovas, I'm just gonna turn around to like the civilians behind me and be like, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna kill you."
I'm not gonna kill you. Barges down
Yeah,
the door to kick that
Proceed to
goblin.
like.
You know what? I think it's a good look if that guy told you to be quiet and you immediately go kick his teeth in.
That is
That's
the
fair.
most fucking Rakdos thing ever. Someone tells you to shut up in your performance and you go kill them.
Actually, we're not gonna kill him, but I think we have grounds to go kick his ass right now.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
And then that sets the record that we're not to be fucked with here a little bit, you know?
Well,
Alright.
Good job on the creative solution, Tavro.
Yeah, that was,
I saw my chance and I took it.
I thought Fox was just gonna petrify the guy, but I've seen how he's rolled with that, so that was probably the better choice.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen you do that successfully.
I've done it a few times.
Not since I've joined this game.
I mean, I've literally done it to the assassin that I was carrying the head around of.
That was the session before Vinny joined.
Yeah. I have never seen you do that successfully.
You see the evidence of it.